Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Alexis here. It's your first time watching any of my videos. I'm Alexis. I'm in the Air Force Reserves as a flight medic. I like to bring information about the military side, the foreign side as a reservist, and also girl talk and dance. We're adding that to the mix too. But in this video, I want to talk about how to qualify for and receive BAH as a reservist when you're on orders, okay? BAH is basic allowance for housing. And so basically, the military will pay your rent as you're away for training. Okay, so I was living in Atlanta at the time before I went to basic. And so from the time that I started basic and ended tech school, which is like 7 months, I went to basic in January and finished tech school in July, I was receiving BAH. And so like I said, it's essentially the military paying for your rent. So how do you get that? Because it's good. I've seen some questions in the comments about BAH. Is your rent paid for? How do you get it? How much is it? And so I want to address all of that in my video. And of course, I've got my notes here. Okay, so first, BAH, you are eligible for it if you're a single person. If you're a single person with a lease or an apartment, you can receive BAH because that's the exact position that I was in when I went off for basic. I believe you receive BAH as well if you're a married person too. The process could be different. Don't know too much about that because I wasn't married when I joined the military. But I'm going to talk about my experience and how it works for a single person to receive that. All you have to do is submit your lease information to your chain of command. When I was in depth flight before shipping off to basic, there was a period of time where she asked, does anyone have a lease to receive BAH? I was like, yes, me. And so they just asked for my lease, submitted the documentation, and then when I got to basic, I saw it reflected in my check. All right, and so it's as simple as that. And if you get to basic and you don't see your BAH reflected or a part of that, you can always let your chain of command know, and they should be able to reach out to your depth flight person and get it all together. But it is that simple. And then lastly, I want to talk about how much. How much is dependent upon three things. It's dependent upon your location, your pay grade, and your dependency status, right? So when I went out, I was currently living in Atlanta, so Atlanta's cost of living was taken into account. My pay grade, I enlisted as an airman, and then also, or an E2, and then also I didn't have any dependents, so that's also a contributing factor. There are links on the internet, like with BAH calculators, to see how much that actually is, to see how much you're working with, to see, is it gonna cover your full rent cost? Do you need to make other arrangements and stuff like that? And I'll put those links in the description box below so you can see what you're working with and then kind of make moves and adjustments as needed. But I hope this addresses the question. If a single person can get BAH, you can, as long as you have a lease and documentation to prove that. And it'll be in one lump sum. I don't believe it is like a separate payment. When I was in basic, they allowed us to check our phones for people who had bills to pay. They allowed us to look at our phones and make sure that our money was coming in and our bills were paid and our rent was paid and all that stuff. And so you can kind of cross-check that way as well. And you can, if it is in one lump sum, which I'm pretty sure it is, you can calculate how much money you make at your pay grade and then on top of your BAH, and that should give you a grand idea of what you should see in your bank account. Now when you get home, no more BAH, okay? That's why reservists like to be on orders as much as possible, because we get paid as active duty gets paid. As a reservist, you only get paid for your weekend. So on orders, the money is right, okay? That's all I have in this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it for you. But like always, like the video if you did. Also subscribe if you haven't already, and also click the notification bell so you are notified when I post my next video. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.